How's it, Aloha gang? Welcome back to High Now Daily. Always an honor to talk about Hōkūleʻa, its impact, and now as we come up on celebrating 50 years since its original launch, really what this means in terms of our identity and its role in the Hawaiian cultural renaissance as well. Very honored and privileged to be sitting down with Uncle Billy Richards. Hello, Uncle.
Hello.
Mahalo nui for being here. We were talking a little bit ago. You were the part of that original crew back in '76. We're coming up on now celebrating almost 50 years now since that that very first voyage. How has life changed? And could you have ever imagined coming up now and almost 50 years later, just what Hōkūleʻa means to so many of us now?
No. But life has changed a lot. I mean, when I first stepped aboard Hōkūleʻa, my whole world changed. You know, it switched. And I'm happy for that switch, actually. I think it's been 50 years since I first stepped aboard in summer of 1975. I think so, but it's been a good ride. Yeah. I've been appreciating it, and all the people are in it right now. As someone who's been on board the canoe for 50 years, having a young come up and take the place, because we need to make room for the next generations and stuff. So they're out there now.
And then what do you think, like, so it's 1976, you guys arrive on that original voyage.
Yes.
What was that moment like for you and the rest of the crew?
Oh, it was big, actually. We had just come from Mataiva because we landed at a little island just on the other side of Tahiti, in the last island of Tuamotus, before going to Tahiti, and then everything broke loose. I mean, we had people from miles come around, and from what I understand, it was the greatest gathering of Tahitians since the landing of Captain Cook, from what I understand. And they had some great pictures of that and things, you know, but it was also, I mean, for all of us, it was incredible. And for me, it was really kind of funny because when I saw the people, I hadn't seen people for a while. We were up there, and I saw the people, I grabbed my surfboard, I jumped off. and I sat there, I let the canoe go in, you know, and everything. And but there was a canoe that came out from Tautira. And it was a war canoe, so I think and my parents were on board.
Oh, wow.
So I paddled over and stuff and saw them. And you know, it was good seeing them. But then went back to the canoe and things. But eventually when we landed, the welcome was incredible.
Yeah.
Very incredible stuff, unforgettable.
Well, when we think about really the legacy, what it means, even in times moving forward, we're at a different place in the world, obviously back in '75 and '76. But now when we think, and so many of us, like us, our future generation that's grown up learning about Hōkūleʻa, and now in its impact, what kind of impact and legacy do you think it has, just in terms of Oceania and really uniting so many people of the Pacific?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was told that one of the things we want to discuss is the Hawaiian Renaissance, which happened back in the '70s. And it came at a good time because you had the Roots, was the movie Roots, came out for the black generations, you know, and then the American Indian movement and Young Lord's Party of Puerto Rico. So when it was time for the Hawaiians to come to the fore of their own cultural, you know, teachings and learnings and things. But back then, it was you know, with the Renaissance, I have to say that there were two movements that happened at the same time. It was Hōkūleʻa, and it was the landing of the groups onto Ko'olawe, side by side, you know, I think. So both of them, and I would encourage folks to talk to Walter Riddy and them too, so to understand their part. But the Renaissance was a time that we needed, and we found ourselves, I think. So for me, that's what it was, you know, finding who we were, where we came from as a people, understanding our beginnings, because for the longest time, prior to that, there was no teachings in schools about things like that. You know, if you want to learn Hawaiian culture, it was Hawaiiana, that sort of thing and stuff.
And then especially doing it the way that that you navigated.
No, it was beautiful, and having people like Mao on board the canoe. I mean, he was more than Maui. He was Maui to us. You know, things. And he took us. He was everything that we needed to be on the canoe. And And the crew that I had with us, Buffalo, Carolina, and all of them were just really wonderful people. And I always feel fortunate that I was able to get aboard the canoe and stuff. I do.
Uncle, where is it currently? Hōkūleʻa and Hikianalia, where are they at right now?
They are in Raro, I believe, and there's some weather issues that are happening, but the next stop is to go right to Aotearoa. In fact, December 8th of this year.
Oh, we're coming up on that.
December 8th of this year will be the 40th anniversary of the first arrival of Hōkūleʻa into Aotearoa. And I was aboard that one too. So
get it right in the book.
And everything. But yeah, it's been actually very engaging. It's been very eye-opening, and for me, very rewarding to have done what we did. Like I say, we found ourselves as Hawaiians, and then as we reached out towards other Polynesia, us as Polynesians in the Pacific Islands by going to Micronesia, and then we went around the world and things. And I was fortunate enough to be on legs like to Africa, and things, and to Rapa Nui and all that. So it was wonderful. And I'll tell you a short story. When we were in Africa, we were at a place where they said that they thought that this is where the migration started. It was a place called Mossel Bay, and we were in this cave, and they were saying that the reason why they thought so was because the people there started eating seafoods. So omega-3 fatty acids, the brain growth and everything, and then the migration started from there. So he looked at us, because one of our crew members, Kaimana Bakarsi, started to do an oli to the cave. And after the guy explained it all, he said, "Welcome home."
Wow.
And I know I mentioned to them that if migration started here, we were the last of the migratory people. That's when they said, "Welcome home."
Now, again, we're getting ready. Hōkūleʻa will be returning back to Aotearoa again in December, as you mentioned as well. When you, one more time, continue to reflect on this legacy, what Hōkūleʻa means to so many of us, especially in the world that we're in now. What do you think is the legacy, and what are you hoping people who are maybe continuing to learn about Hōkūleʻa, what are you hoping that they take away from it?
Well, I think you should learn about yourselves and where you came from. Because I think your mo'okuahao, your generations that came before you, are important. We learned that about going around the world. Like I said, when we were finding ourselves, it was all about Hawaii, but when we went around the world, every ethnicity in Hawaii was represented on the crew. Everyone and everything. So it's important that everyone to understand that they have their own beginnings, and they all got here at the same time and everything, but we have a wonderful family here in Hawaii. We do.
Absolutely. Uncle, mahalo nui for taking the time.
You're welcome.
Now, again, for more information and to catch this interview, again, you can head to HiNowDaily.com as we continue to celebrate Hōkūleʻa. You're watching High Now Daily.
Hello.
We'll be right back. Right on, Uncle.